And we're live. What's going on, everybody? Welcome into the live stream. We got a nice little 4-gamer tonight that we're going to go over. So excited to get into the breakdown. We have some news coming through. A few things we're waiting on, but for the most part, I think we're feeling pretty confident about where we're standing as far as this slate tonight. The Christian Wood news would be the biggest news that we are waiting on. So that's the one piece of news, we do need to come through in this Houston-New York game. He is listed as questionable. He might be in tonight. So that would be the one big piece of news that we're waiting on here, Christian Wood. But other than that, I feel like we're feeling pretty confident, ready to go for the slate tonight. We're going to do a little bit of a game-by-game breakdown, get into the top plays on DraftKings, top plays on FanDuel. So answering any questions that you guys have. Before we do, though, quick reminder, this stream is sponsored by my friends over at Parlay Play. And I got a pick for you tonight for the Parlay Play Bankroll Challenge. $25 3x pick. Really going to like tonight. The Jayshawn Tate over 24.5 parlay points. Julius Randle over 33.5 parlay points. So if you're already signed up over there on Parlay Play, lock these picks in tonight. If you're not, we got to change that. We got to get you signed over on Parlay Play, and they will match your first deposit up to $50 when you use my link, which I'll be putting in the chat right now, guys. So locking in this pick. I know we weren't able to have a pick last night because the slate was just absolutely crazy. There was just too much going on. But Parlay Play, KJK DFS Bankroll Challenge, we're back. Turn $10 into $63.27. I am including the free play. They do offer free plays alternating nights oftentimes. And when I cash in the free play, I'm just going to go ahead and add that to my bankroll. Because that could be, one of you guys. I'm going to help you with the picks. Give you an idea of who I'm liking. You can pick those free plays and win some money. So I was able to win some money last night on a free play. And it's not exactly easiest to cash on those. So when you do, it feels that much better. It's hard. It's a little bit of a challenge. And nothing wrong with the challenge. Challenging yourself. So check that out, guys. And we're going to get into the breakdown as always. Welcoming everyone in. Patrick says, what's up? Welcome in. Patrick, how you doing, man? Nightmare, welcome in. Hope you guys are having a good day. Good night. And yeah, let's get into it. So Detroit taking on Indiana is going to be the first game on the slate. This game by far is the sloppiest game. Top guy priced up in this game is going to be Domantas Sabonis. He comes in at 10-5. This game comes in with a 10-point spread in favor of the Indiana Pacers. And it is only a 209.5 over-under. So this game's expected to be pretty ugly. Not one that I'm going to probably want to be getting the most exposure to on this slate. And if I am, it's going to be coming on the Detroit side of things most likely. They are without Jeremiah Grant. I do think that Cade Cunningham's going to continue to get a lot of usage for that reason. He gets the biggest bump up in usage here, has a big amount of upside. If you want to go to Cade Cunningham, I certainly think that would be a viable play for you tonight. And certainly do think that, he's someone that you can be taking a hard look to because of this bump up in usage. He's someone, and then obviously there's some other guys you can be taking punts on the Detroit side of things. It's just a matter of, do you really want to go there? Diallo continues to grade out as a good play for me over here on DraftKings specifically at only 4-3. I think that he could have a big game. Last time out, he got the start. Didn't quite play the most amount of minutes, but I think that was because of early foul trouble. He was able to go out there and put up 17 DraftKings points. He is a very good fantasy point producer. I think if he can stay at some foul trouble here, Diallo could be a pretty interesting option. So he's someone I'd be looking to on this slate tonight for sure. Got to get some water. Sorry about that, but yeah, Diallo. A guy that I'm going to be looking to on the Detroit side for sure. Sadiq Bey at 4.9 does grade out as a pretty good play for me as well, but he graded out as a good play last time. He's just really not performing lately. He had a pretty good start to the season, if I remember correctly. Those first couple weeks, he looked really, really good, and then lately he just has not looked good. The coaching staff pretty much refrained from playing him a lot of minutes last time out, and it wasn't as if it was a blowout or anything like that. It was a close game. He only had 2 fouls on him, and they were willing to play guys like Frank Jackson over him, so I'm a little bit skeptical on him. I'd much rather go to a Diallo. And then another guy that got some pretty good run last time, and I have projecting it's a decent value play, would be Saban Lee down here at 4-2. And you got to keep in mind, if this game turns into a blowout, this is an ideal candidate. I mean, Saban Lee would be the guy that's probably still getting minutes out there. It's a young rookie that they want to develop. He typically doesn't get the start. So he's a perfect candidate of, if this game does turn into a blowout, of having a huge game and a guy that people just won't be having in their lineup. So I think that Saban Lee, a perfect candidate. Like I said, if this game turns into a blowout, he could have a big game, and some of these other guys could fade out, not exactly have the best game, and that would certainly be my approach on this one tonight. If you think the game's going to turn a blowout, those are a few guys you can be looking to. On the Indiana side, with it not being close, you can certainly go to some cheaper guys. A guy like a Miles Turner down here at 6'7", a Karis LeVert. Those two guys are going to be a lot cheaper, a lot easier to be fitting into your lineups than some of these other guys, because, I mean, quite frankly, they can actually get you there in a half of basketball. If this game turns into a blowout in the second half and you don't have Domantas Sabonis, Malcolm Brogdon out there on the court in the third and fourth quarter, that many minutes, I mean, that could be catastrophic for your lineups, because that's going to absolutely destroy your chances of actually, you know, getting to the top. So Sabonis, those guys, you can play them, but just keep in mind, the game really has to stay close. Second game on the slate, we have Philly taking on Brooklyn. Brooklyn continues to be really shorthanded. They are without James Harden, without LaMarcus Aldridge, without Joe Harris, Bruce Brown, James Johnson, DeAndre Bembry, Paul Millsap. So there's going to be plenty of value to go around on Brooklyn. Now, these websites have hiked these guys' price tags up quite a bit. However, the fact of the matter remains, all the usage is still going to be going to Kevin Durant. You know, without a doubt, the best play on the slate, Kevin Durant. I mean, I have my lock of the night segment this morning, and I wanted to say Kevin Durant, but that just seems too easy at this point. It's going to be a little bit challenging with all these injuries and stuff to not just have the same lock of the night every time, because, I mean, Kevin Durant's clearly the top play on the slate. With all this usage he's getting. He's priced pretty appropriately, though, and he's certainly going to have to continue on his big games here to keep things, you know, worth paying, to keep him worth paying up for. I think he certainly can. Though James Harden, Kevin Durant becomes an absolute usage beast. This game has a 216.5 over/under with a 1.5 point spread in favor of Philadelphia, so it's expected to stay close. So everything kind of matches up here for Kevin Durant to continue to do his thing. The usage is going to continue to be there. He's going to have triple-double upside every single time he takes the floor. With this team being so shorthanded, so obviously he's going to be a tremendous play. And then these other guys on the Brooklyn side, they're getting to start. Patty Mills, Blake Griffin should certainly be guys that you're taking a look to on the slate tonight as well, getting a lot of usage. We saw Duke Jr. get the start last time. He played 38 minutes. I'd go right back to the well on him. Cam Thomas didn't play nearly as many minutes, so certainly keep your eyes on the starting lineup. If we get confirmation that Cam Thomas isn't starting, they're going with the same lineup. That would be my approach. I'd go Duke over Cameron Thomas by a long shot, because they played him way more minutes. I mean, Cameron Thomas only played 22 minutes. It's clearly something the coaching staff saw in Duke, and the same can be said for Kessler Edwards. So those two guys would be the guys I'm really focusing in on. Both played a lot of minutes. Both young guys that can go out there and play a lot of minutes, and they need the young legs right now to get through these tough times with all these injuries going on. So I like them a lot. Nicholas Claxton going to be another viable option. So, you know, you can be loading up on these shorthanded teams. It's not rocket science, but it's just the truth of the matter. You have to take advantage of this value. We talk about Brooklyn right now. We're going to talk about Houston in this next game. Both teams dealing with a lot of injuries, so that'd be my approach there. Running it back on the other side with Joel Embiid wouldn't be a bad idea, because with the game expected to stay close, Joel Embiid certainly could have a big ceiling, but he's priced at 11.4, and it's like, do we really want to pay 11.4 for a guy right now in Joel Embiid? I mean, Kevin Durant's going to have way more upside, way more usage on that side of things. Julius Randle is a whole $1,400 cheaper. Chris Paul, there's no Devin Booker. He's only $9,700. I know they're different positions, but big bump up for him. DeAndre in the same position at 8.8, which we'll get to that game later, but no Devin Booker. He should get a lot more involved in the offense as well. So don't get me wrong, Joel Embiid's a valid play here. He's probably going to get him at low ownership, but I think probably for good reason. I mean, there's other spots that are going to be much better, more opportunity to go around. And then other guys I'm looking to on Philadelphia would be really a Tyrese Maxey, a Seth Curry, and that's about it. Both of guys have high ceilings here. If they do get hot, I would definitely prefer Maxey. Seth Curry really hasn't been able to get it going lately. The guy that I definitely like to play on DraftKings a lot more than FanDuel, because he is very scoring reliant. And the Philadelphia side, like I said, just not nearly as interested in the Philadelphia side as the Brooklyn side, with them being so short-handed. So that'd be my approach in this one. All right, looking at some questions here. Let's see what we got coming in. The Prince says, Lee or Jackson? I would say that depends upon how you think that game goes. I'd probably go Jackson if the game stays close, saving Lee if the game blows out. As far as from a projection aspect, let's see what I have for my top plays. I would go with Frank Jackson from a pure perspective of a pure projection aspect right now, but I'm going to be honest, Frank Jackson produces at a 0.69 DK point per minute clip. Saban Lee produces at a 0.98 DK point per minute clip, so I would much rather be willing to I'd go with Saban Lee. He's a much better fantasy point producer, and he's probably going to be lower owned, so I'd be willing to take that chance. The Prince says so. Lock him in. I don't know who you're talking about. The Prince, Saban Lee. I mean, I think that's kind of a risky play, but you could certainly go there. I think it's a play that could pay off for you big in tournaments. That's what I look to. So I think I certainly give you the approval. Self says that Nets game went to overtime, though. I wonder how those players did before heading to OT. I wouldn't worry about that too much. The bottom line is they got the most run. So I know that went to overtime and everything, but you got to look at what the coaching staff was looking to play the guys the minutes, and he played them the most amount of minutes, like by far. Like it wasn't even close. Duke and Edwards played way more minutes than Cam Thomas, Nicholas Claxton. Cameron Thomas played 22 minutes. Claxton played 26. There was a clear discrepancy in the priorities from the coaching staff as to who they wanted to play more minutes. So I would go with Duke Jr. I would keep your eyes on that starting lineup, and I would go with Edwards. The coaching staff very clearly showed that they wanted to play them over Cam Thomas. So if they decide to just change their mind and switch up on us, then unfortunately that really stinks, but I don't think that's going to be the case. All right, so this next game, New York Knicks taking on Houston. Julius Randle's my lock of the night. Absolutely love the spot. Houston's been pretty terrible defensively. The New York Knicks haven't been very good defensively. Looking at my premium content over here on Patreon, as far as my defensive half-court and putbacks tool, I can see that New York and Houston are right next to each other in the pack for defense. 22nd and 23rd in points per possession rank, 19th and 18th in half-court points per play rank, 20th and 23rd in offensive rebounding percentage rank, 26th and 21st in half-court percent of play ranks. So they're grading out to be, bottom 10 in the league in a lot of defensive categories, both of these sides, and both sides dealing with injuries. So I'm certainly going to be prioritizing some guys on both of these teams. Julius Randle, it all starts with him, of course. I think he has a monster upside game here. Alec Burks, Derrick Rose, and Evan Fournier, I think are going to be forced into a lot more minutes here. They were already forced into a lot of minutes as is. Now there's no Kevin Knox being ruled out here with an illness. So now there's even more minutes to go around in this New York Knicks rotation. And I certainly think that these guys are grading out as great plays. Their hands are kind of forced here. They already said that Kemba Walker is going to be out of the rotation. That's one other guy you could take out of the rotation. More minutes are going to be filing into these guys. So Alec Burks, Derrick Rose, Evan Fournier, all grade out as good plays to me. Like I said, I think they're going to have to play more minutes, get more usage. They have nowhere else to go here. Knox is gone. A guy that's a little bit on the sneakier side that might get some more run now with all these injuries down here on the New York Knicks side of things would be Mr. McBride. Miles McBride played last time out 20 minutes. I do think that he could get a big tick up in minutes here, and if he does and he's at lower ownership, he could be another sneaky guy like we talked about on that other game that you could be playing in your DraftKings lineups that not a lot of people are looking at, and that could pay off for you big in tournaments like Saban Lee I talked about on the Detroit Pistons if that game turns into a blowout. A young kid that they could play a lot of minutes and have a big game. I think the same rule applies here for Miles McBride. And he's someone that I think that you could be looking to, pretty hard in your tournament lineups. Taking a hard look to. Certainly I'm interested in him. And Evan Fournier at 4,900, like I said, with these injuries now, he grades out as a fantastic value for me over here on DraftKings. I'm certainly going to have quite a bit of interest in him. I know he hasn't been producing at a very high rate, but if there was ever a time to, I think this is it. Now there's no Kevin Knox in the rotation. Houston just really hasn't been good defensively. They're short-handed right now. I think Evan Fournier grades out was a great play. I think Derrick Rose is a great play on the next side of things. Emmanuel Quickly at 5,100 is a guy you could be taking a much harder look to as well. And then, like I said, I think Miles McBride is a little bit on the sneakier side of things. Maybe people aren't quite willing to play him. Everyone goes to an Emmanuel Quickly, and McBride's a lot cheaper. If he gets more minutes, more usage, he could certainly get you there in a hurry at only a 3.5 price tag. So I think that he's an intriguing option, a tournament option. Looking to the other side on Houston, as far as who I'm looking to on their side, Christian Wood is still listed as questionable. Of course, that's some big news. If he is indeed out, we could be taking a hard look to Sagan again, Daniel Tice, Kenyon Martin Jr. going to be getting a lot more minutes as well. So that's some big news. But regardless, I really do like Jae'Sean Tate. I talked about him being my parlay play of the day. If you're not familiar, if you haven't checked that parlay play, absolutely love the line. So I'm going to continue to say it over here. I think it's free money. Go ahead and lock it in. Go over here, Rockets, Knicks. Change your player from Eric Gordon to Jae'Sean Tate above his head. Change it to parlay points over 24.5. I think he hits that easily. Julius Randle's line set at over 33.5 parlay points. I mean, I got these guys both projected for 10 plus more points than what their line is over here on parlay play. So I absolutely love it. Locking them in for the parlay play bankroll challenge, and I'm locking in a $25 pick max bet on this play tonight. So very confident. Go ahead and use the link. Sign up today using my link. Use the promo code KJK003. And I think this is free money, guys. I'm going all the way up to the $25 entry. Usually we started this challenge with $5, depending upon my confidence. I'm doing a max entry tonight, guys, so I'm feeling really good about this. Use that link, lock it in. Like I said, go over there, take the over on Jayshawn Tate. They're shorthanded. Take the over on Julius Randle. They're shorthanded. Both these guys should get a big bump up in usage. And I'm feeling really confident about it. So would highly recommend you take advantage of that. And I do like him over on DraftKings as well at 6,500. Love to play. I think I'm going to have a lot of interest in him on FanDuel as well. So I have interest there. Eric Gordon at 5.6. I think is definitely an intriguing play on the Houston side of things as well. Going to take on a lot of usage. So, similar to the Knicks side of things, we talked about really being able to lock in on some of these guys. Julius Randle, Alec Burks, Derrick Rose, Evan Fournier, all great. That was great plays on the Houston side of things, especially if Christian Wood is indeed ruled out. Certainly going to have a lot of interest in Eric Gordon, Sagan, Jayshawn Tate. Those three guys, be playing on a lot of exposure to those guys. You can take a little bit of a look to an Armani Brooks, but I think with Eric Gordon back, he does take a little bit of a hit. I have a lot less interest in him with Gordon being back. Garrison Matthews, I would much rather play to. I think he's more of a wing shooter. Can knock down those threes. I think he has more of a likelihood of getting to his upside, depending upon, how this pans out with the Christian Wood news. So we'll wait on that, but I feel like he's probably going to be out. KJ Martin's another guy you could be taking a look to as well, playing in the mid to upper 20s, and certainly do have interest. There's going to be a lot of guys on both sides dealing with injuries, both sides not good defensively. So certainly a game I have quite a bit of interest in. And rounding things out with this Washington-Phoenix game, let's make sure we don't have any more questions in the chat. But let's see. Langston Galloway has been signed to a 10-day deal to at least get them to 9 players. Guard minutes for David Duke, Cam Thomas, and Kessler Edwards should be less extreme as a result. Yeah, Colin, I agree. I was looking to Langston Galloway earlier. He might be a little bit of a sneaky play, but the fact of the matter is I think that Langston Galloway probably plays like 20 minutes or so would be my guess. And with that being said, is he even available over here on DraftKings? I saw him in the FanDuel player pool, but it doesn't look like he's even available on DraftKings. So he's available on FanDuel. Just so you know, if you think that Langston Galloway is going to get a lot of minutes, he is minimum salary over there on FanDuel. It doesn't look like they have him over here on DraftKings, so that's certainly something worth noting. So yeah, good call. Minimum salary on FanDuel could be a sneaky play if you think that Langston Galloway gets a lot of run. For those of you that do play on FanDuel, he was someone that I was looking to earlier. I didn't know that he wasn't listed on DraftKings, though. I'm playing on FanDuel tonight, so yeah, certainly could take advantage of some Langston Galloway minutes over here on FanDuel. Minimum salary player, 10-day contract. Like you said, I'm sure he gets a few minutes. And for that reason, he could be a pretty sneaky player, especially considering he's not on both websites. So the people that play on DraftKings that are trying to sneak over here and play on FanDuel as well probably won't even think he's an option. And if you tuned into this stream, now you know he is. So certainly Langston Galloway could be an interesting option for you on the slate tonight on FanDuel. So last game on the slate, guys. Washington taking on Phoenix as far as this game overall. Chris Paul is going to continue to be a great play as long as there's no Devin Booker. The only question is if this game does stay close. It does have a 9-point spread in favor of Phoenix. 213 over-under. Spencer Dinwiddie was ruled out, so that's going to be a bump up on the Washington side of things to a Bradley Beal, to a Kyle Kuzma. Those two guys certainly going to get the biggest bump up. I think they both have a big amount of upside in this game if the game stays close. It's going to be because Kyle Kuzma. It's going to be because of Bradley Beal. So if the game stays close, those two guys probably going to have big games. Probably going to want to make sure that you're getting some exposure to them, especially if you're playing Chris Paul on the other end of things, which I think Chris Paul, once again, is a tremendous play if the game does stay close. But that's the key. The game has to stay close. So it makes sense to be playing maybe a Bradley Beal on the other side, maybe a Kyle Kuzma on the other side. And the same can be said for DeAndre Ayton. Both Chris Paul and DeAndre Ayton going to be continuing to be fantastic plays as long as Devin Booker is out. The usage is going to be there. I'm not too worried about Washington defensively as far as headlight grade out in my premium content. They're 14th in points per possession, 21st in half-court points per play ranked, 15th in half-court percentage of plays ranked. But they're not exactly giving up the most amount of points per miss. So as far as putbacks are concerned, not the best spot, but overall, I still think that DeAndre Ayton is going to be a tremendous play here if the game stays close. So you have to kind of play your lineup as if the game is going to stay close, which involves probably playing pieces on the other side. Cameron Payne, Cameron Johnson, both going to continue to be decent options in the mid-range for this Phoenix Suns team, both getting a big bump up in minutes and usage. So I do think they're both viable value plays here on the Phoenix Suns side. And if the game doesn't stay close, they're much more viable to get to their upside rather than paying all the way for Chris Paul. So if you want to go down to the mid-range guys on the Phoenix side, that certainly makes sense. And the same rule can be said for the Washington guys. Daniel Gafford at 4.8 certainly could be a guy that you're looking to get there. And then we're also looking to a Kentavious Caldwell-Pope and a Denny Avdija, with there being no Spencer Dinwiddie, and lastly, Aaron Holiday and Raul Neto, both going to be interesting cheap guard options that you could be taking a look to tonight, with there indeed being no Spencer Dinwiddie. So, they're kind of the more obvious plays. Raul Neto certainly grades out as a tremendous value play at only 3.2 on DraftKings. Aaron Holiday, same thing can be said for him for 3.5. I have them both projected for in the low 20s minutes. They both put up about the same production, about 0.75 DK points per minute. So, interesting plays. I would be okay with kind of fading them if a bunch of people are going to be going to this value for Neto and Aaron Holiday. I think there's other spots on the slate that we can get creative and go to. We already talked about some pivots. Maybe like a McBride on the New York Knicks. Maybe a Saban Lee on the Detroit Pistons. So, yeah, those are some sneakier plays that you guys could be playing in your tournament lineups. And that would be my approach overall on this slate, guys. I mean, pretty straightforward. 4-gamer. We have some injury news. We kind of already know where that's going. Looking at FanDuel, seeing if there's any pricing discrepancies. We just talked about one big difference is that Langston Galloway is available on FanDuel. He's not even listed on DraftKings, so he could be a sneaky play on FanDuel. And as far as anyone else, Evan Fournier, I certainly have a lot of interest in over here on FanDuel for a value play. We talked about him being forced into some more minutes now. There's no Kevin Knox. New York Knicks really need some minutes out of him. So I think he's an intriguing value play. Jayshawn Tate for the Houston Rockets. I'm going to continue to say I really like him on both websites with a lot of usage to go around with Houston dealing with some injuries. So he's certainly going to be an intriguing play for me tonight that I'm going to have a lot of interest in. Derrick Rose we talked about. Diallo at 4.7 on FanDuel. I think it's an intriguing play on the Detroit side of things. Julius Randle at 8.7 on FanDuel is, a big reason why he's my lock of the night on FanDuel specifically. Just absolutely love the price tag. He's just too cheap. DraftKings, he's definitely a viable play. In DraftKings, we talked about a bunch of cheap guys that you could be putting in your lineup. So Raul Neto and Aaron Holiday, Saban Lee, Fournier, Derrick Rose on the New York Knicks side of things. So I think that Julius Randle going to be valid on both websites. And Bradley Beal with the big bump up in usage with there being no Spencer Dinwiddie, certainly standing out as a great pay-up option as well for me, outside of the obvious Kevin Durant play with Brooklyn being so short-handed. Do you think that these two guys are pretty intriguing plays over here on FanDuel? So, yeah, let me know if you have any questions in the chat, guys. I think we did a pretty good job of going over that 4-gamer. We got plenty of time here, another half an hour that I'll hang around if there's plenty of questions. If not, I can bounce out early, but I'm pretty sure there's going to be quite a few questions here. And quick little announcement, if you didn't know, the month of December, giving back to you guys around the holidays, you can check out the KJK DFS premium packages at a discount. Over here, the KJK DFS NBA package is $19.99 a month. If you are getting very serious about NBA DFS, I would highly recommend it. I'm going to put the link in the chat right now. If you're trying to be really serious, be a profitable player, and you really enjoy my free content, I promise you, you're going to like the paid content that much more. Should help you really lock in your picks. And you can join the KJK DFS Discord package for only $1 all throughout the month of December. Like I said, giving back during the holiday season, that's usually a $10 package monthly. Going to be giving that away for only $1 throughout the month of December. So, keep trying to get back to you guys. Happy holidays. Hope everyone's doing good this time of year. And check out the KJK DFS premium content if you are interested. And with that being said, let's answer some questions in the chat, guys. Let's answer some questions. Let's get to some stuff here. Let's put the KJK DFS social media stuff up on the screen too. So if you guys didn't know, you can follow me on all my social stuff where I put out a bunch of other content. Oh, Maxi Tate or Mills, DePrince asks. I would go with Tate there. DePrince asks quickly or Griffin. I think you're playing on DraftKings, right, DePrince? If you're asking me that, let's see. Quickly or Griffin? I'd probably go with Quickly. Based upon... on DraftKings, I go with Blake Griffin, actually. Yeah, I go with Blake Griffin there. The legend says, interesting players for Pacers. I don't really know what that... I think you mean, am I interested in players for the Pacers? I said I'd probably have more interest in the cheaper guys. This game, there's a high likelihood it blows out. Karis LeVert, Miles Turner are going to be intriguing plays. If you think it blows out, maybe some interesting punt options on the Indiana side would be guys like a Jeremy Lamb at 3-3. Very good fantasy point producer. If he gets minutes, he could really have a big game. So he'd be the one I'm looking to play if you do think that this game turns into a blowout. Jeremy Lamb. Sub says Sadiq Bey or Fournier? Fournier. I don't trust Sadiq Bey. I think Sadiq Bey's been terrible for that reason. He'll probably go off tonight. But sometimes you got to go back to the guys that have been terrible. But the fact of the matter is the coaching staff's been unwilling to play him. They have enough bodies to where they don't have to play him necessarily. Evan Fournier, I think, is much more likely to get a bump up in minutes here now that there is indeed no Kevin Knox. Kevin Knox was really the only thing that was limiting him from getting more minutes. He's been playing in the mid to upper 20 minutes as is. I think that Evan Fournier plays in the 30s tonight, I believe. I have got him projected for 32 minutes. So I think Evan Fournier is a great value play. Colin says, RJ Barrett out, question mark. Yeah, I thought he was. Maybe I jumped the gun on that and just assumed. Let me double check myself. Yeah, he is. Yep, RJ Barrett is out. So yeah, let me know if you guys have any more questions in the chat. I think we're doing pretty good here. I haven't seen any more injury news come through or anything. So we're feeling pretty confident. We just went over it. Lock of the Nights, Julius Randle. We like Kevin Durant. The Brooklyn Nets plays, obviously. Going to be great value plays. There hasn't really been any other news coming out, though. Who on FanDuel besides Randall and Fournier that is a must-have? On FanDuel? I can tell you, I mean, there's no such thing as a must-have, man. You know, you never know. Some people can get injured and stuff. But some of my favorite plays on FanDuel, I think that Karis LeVert at 6'2" continues to be underpriced on FanDuel. So I think that Karis LeVert's a pretty intriguing option, although he's expected to be involved in this blowout in Detroit. If you want to go to him, I certainly wouldn't call you crazy. Jayshawn Tate at 6'3", one of my favorite plays on the slate. So I like him a lot on FanDuel. In the mid-price range with all these injuries on the Houston side of things, I think he has a big game tonight. So I think Jayshawn Tate's a great play on FanDuel. I like Julius Randle, like you said. I think Bradley Beal becomes a much better play with there being no Spencer Dinwiddie. I think he takes on a really big, large usage role here. And if the game stays close, it's probably because he has a big game here. So I think Bradley Beal is an intriguing option. So yeah, there's a few more players for you to be considering over there on FanDuel. But yeah, guys, it's only a 4-gamer. I mean, I feel like we went over this pretty good. We went over some sneaky plays, some solidified plays. You know, the Patreon content, parlay play. If you didn't know, locking this pick tonight, guys. Julius Randle and Jayshawn Tate. Take the over here on parlay play. Lock it in. I'm doing a $25 place bet on that tonight. $25 entry, I should say. And I'm feeling really confident about it. I think that's going to increase our bankroll by a solid $75 tonight. If we win, we 3x our money. I'd love for you to join me in that because I'm going to be locking it in. Love the pick. Over 24.5 for Jayshawn Tate. Over 33.5 for Julius Randle. I have both those guys projected to outscore that by 10+ points from a base projection model, and that's not even factoring in their upside. Obviously, they could have a much bigger game than their base projected. So I'm going to put in the $25 and try to cash. And another cool thing about over here on parlay play is after you played here enough, they give you bonuses. So I'm actually going to be able to 3.3x my entry because I've played enough contests and built up enough to where I get a bonus payout. So I'm not even getting only a 3x on my picks tonight. I'm actually getting 3.3x payout, which is really cool, guys. Like I'm really pumped about this parlay play format. Like I met up with these guys. I said I wanted a sponsor on my channel that I believed in. That's more of a startup. That's a new creative format, and I'm really loving this. And the fact of the matter is, you know, I've been partnered with them for like a week, 2 weeks, and the fact that I've already earned a 3.3x payout by playing, you know, looking at my parlay play bankroll challenge, I played 9 contests. That's really, really cool stuff. You know, not every single site is offering this kind of stuff. And when people are offering free money in the DFS industry, you got to take advantage. So I really would encourage you to try out the parlay play format. I'm going to put the link in the chat. And sign up today, guys. Use the promo code KJK003. If you click on that link, it'll automatically put it in. But lock in this pick. Jayshawn Tate over 24.5. Julius Randle over 33.5. Absolutely love the pick. I think it's a lock. And I'm going to be locking it in myself right now. So as I'm on the stream going over this pick with you guys, I'm going to be locking this in, trying to win some money tonight, getting that 3.3x. And I'm really liking this pick. So go ahead and lock it in over there on Parlay Play. I'm going to be doing it right now. And let's win some money tonight on Parlay Play. I'm excited for it. So feeling really confident about the pick. Really liking it. Thinking it's a pretty much automatic hit here. And I'm going to be placing my Parlay Play plays right now. And like I said, we could both win. We can both win some money tonight because I'm liking this pick a lot. So yeah, I'm locking that in right now. Patrick says, I locked it in already. Good, Patrick. I'm glad to hear it, man. We are going to, we're going to cash in. So I'm certainly going to have a lot of interest. Certainly going to have a lot of interest in that tonight. Tap My Life says, do you like Turner? Yeah, I like Turner. I think that he's certainly a viable play. And specifically, like I said, if this game blows out with it being such a big spread, I think that there was ever a guy that could get there, if it does turn out, it would be Miles Turner, priced at a lot cheaper than his respective teammates. And when you're looking at the spread in this game, it does come in with a 10-point spread in favor of Indiana. So they're expected to win this game pretty easily here, guys. So if you want to go to the cheaper options, I certainly think that makes a lot of sense. And Miles Turner is certainly one of those cheaper options. So if you want to go to him, I certainly think that makes sense. But yeah, guys, it doesn't look like we're having a lot more questions in the chat. If you guys want to ask some more questions, I'll hang out for another, 30 minutes or so. But it looks like things are kind of dying down here. I might bounce out, answer my premium content members' questions, all that fun stuff. If you're enjoying the stream, though, please take a second to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future content that I upload. If you missed my video earlier, Julius Randle is my lock of the night, so I love Julius Randle tonight. Especially on FanDuel where he's just priced pretty cheaply. The only question really with Julius Randle is going to be roster construction. It's tough when I put out the early video and then we get news on injuries and stuff. Roster construction could maybe deter you away from the lock of the night. Regardless, I think the guy has a great game. And if you're not playing him in your DFS lineups, certainly play him over here on Parlay Play. So, lock him in. Feel pretty good about it. And win some money over here. So depending upon the format you're playing, love the pick. And like I said, I'm going to try to put that in right now. There's no free play tonight over on Parlay Play, but tomorrow night they have a free play for the NBA. So I'm going to be playing that as well. Looking at the December 17th slate. So another free play. First place, you get $36. Second place, $18. Third through 10th, you can win $4.50. 11th through 20th, $3. Keep in mind, it is free. You got nothing to lose. So check them out. And if you're not familiar with the format, it's a good way of practicing the different type of formats they have. They have the over-under format. They have the hit-it format where you have to pick the exact pick, whether it's like 28 to 32 points, etc. for certain players. So lots of fun stuff. Lots of fun stuff on Parlay Play. Let me know if you guys have any questions, guys. If you don't, I'm probably going to bounce out. I'm going to hang out for another 5 minutes or so till 6:10 p.m. Eastern. Answer any more questions that you guys have. Look over on Twitter here. Let's see if we have any more injury news. I don't think we do. We're waiting on the Christian Wood news. I don't know if we're going to get it on the live stream here. I don't know if he's going to play. If he plays, obviously, we're going to have a lot less interest in a Sagan tonight. We're going to have a lot less interest in a few guys, but main candidate would be Sagan. I mean, I'm just not going to have as much interest in him if Christian Wood's in. Eric Gordon, Jayshawn Tate still have quite a bit of interest in. Garrison Matthews, Armani Brooks, KJ Martin, and Sagan would probably take a bit of a back seat. So not too sure I'm too interested in that. Tap My Life says, I don't like my lineup tonight, but it's whatever. You got to like your lineup, man. You'll figure it out. Tap My Life, I think you're in the Discord chat, but I don't know if you're a premium member. I don't know if you're a premium member with the projections. I don't think you are. But regardless, if you're in the Discord, I'll help you out. If you want to sign up for the projections, you should be feeling pretty confident about it, man. Play the guys with the highest multiplier metric. If you're not a member if you're not a premium member, sign up. It's only $19.99. It's going to be great value. If you can't afford it, I understand. Like I said, I'll help you out the best I can in the Discord chat. So I got you. You'll be liking your lineup before lock. We'll figure that out. All right. Yeah, guys, feeling good about the slate. I don't know. DraftKings were pretty solidified. Gnarly says 8 and over 18.5 points. Well, let me look at my projections. 1 sec. I'll tell you the exact. I can look on the back end of my projections, where I can see all of the. I can see all of the individual statistics that go into my projections and what I have guys projected for. So let's see. DeAndre Ayton, I have projected to score exactly in my projection model 14.98 points. Not fantasy points, real life points. I'm assuming that's what you're asking. So my answer to that would be to take the under. Nightmare says, do you play guys with low fantasy point per minute? No, man. I mean, no. You want to play guys with the highest fantasy point per minute possible. If they're playing a lot of minutes, sometimes you can get away with that, but would I encourage you to play a guy with low fantasy point per minute? Absolutely not. Obviously, that's kind of an obvious answer, not to be shooting you down, but you want to play the guys that are producing the most amount on a permanent basis as possible. So, yeah. All right, guys. Looks like the questions are slowing down. I'm going to hang out for another 2 minutes. If you have any questions, urgent questions, please do ask them in the chat. I will answer it for you before 6:10 p.m. Eastern, and then I'm probably going to bounce out. Answer my questions in the Discord chat. If you enjoyed the stream, please take a second to hit that like button. 8 likes. We're trying to get to 20 likes on all these live streams. We really haven't been all that close these last couple, so if you could take a second to leave a like, that would be greatly appreciated. And like I said, if you have any more questions, I will gladly answer them. And if you don't, I'm going to bounce out, update my core plays, update my projections, answer any questions from my premium members in the Discord chat. And, yeah. And we just got some big news. Malcolm Brogdon's ruled out. So, right as I was about to bounce out, let's see. So Malcolm Brogdon's out. That's going to be a big bump up to whoever starts. But most likely, Karis LeVert's going to get a big bump up. Chris Duarte is going to get a big bump up now. And I certainly do have quite a bit of interest in that. Tap My Life says, I signed up. Yeah, Tap My Life, I got you, man. I see you. So I'm going to give you access to my sheet right now. So just to explain to you guys, when you sign up for my Patreon content, you're not going to get in right away, because I have to put a lock on the sheets, obviously, so that people that aren't paying and people that would just come in and spam stuff can't access it. So once you sign up, I'll send you a message. I'll welcome you to the team. I'll let you know that I gave you access to my sheets. I message you on Patreon. I always like to reach out, kind of that personal touch, and thank you for joining the team, because I love having a community. The guys in the Discord chat, I always enjoy chatting it up. We not only do we give each other advice, but we also have a lot of fun. So, but yeah, Tap My Life, I'm going to give you access to my sheets right now, man. So when you try to access it at first, when you sign up, it won't let you in. But if you give me a few minutes, if I'm working throughout the day, it might be 2 hours before lock or something the first day that you sign up before you get access, but I will give you access. So, Tap My Life, I just gave you access right now, my man. So you should have access to my sheet for today. You'll now have access to my projections. You'll see my multiplier metric. You'll now have access to my core plays, all of that fun stuff. And you'll be good to go, man. So I just gave you access. And let me make sure that you're good to go. Yeah, man. You should be good to go. You're in there. So thank you for joining the team, Tap My Life. I know you're always watching the content, but now premium content member, you're going to love it, man. These projections and everything that I talk about in the Discord, you'll be able to look right at it as we're talking. I have DraftKings FanDuel. I have my core plays on DraftKings and FanDuel. All that fun stuff. So you should be all good to go. But yeah, Chris Duarte is going to get a big bump up now with there being no Malcolm Brogdon. Certainly going to have a lot more interest in him. Karis LeVert's going to get a big bump up. We'll certainly be keeping our eyes on the starting lineup, whoever starts for the Indiana Pacers. Obviously going to be pretty relevant news now. So that's a change in the slate that from what we've been discussing. Jamie Lamb maybe becomes a little bit more of an intriguing play. TJ McConnell continues to be listed as out, though, so Justin Holiday, I'm sure, could become an intriguing value play as well. But we will see as I continue to update my projections. We'll see what's going on here and who's giving the biggest bump up. Let's see, Malcolm Brogdon. Malcolm Brogdon was ruled out, people. So that's some big news. That's some big news. Big news. Self says, is it possible in the future you can show how you come up with projections? There's a lot that goes into it, man. I don't really know what you mean by that. I'm not sure, Self. If you are a premium member, I'm getting a really... I know you're a big supporter of the content, so regardless, I really do appreciate your support. Sometimes I get so caught up in, you know, remembering screen names and all that stuff and who's in the Discord and who has the premium content and who doesn't. But regardless, I mean, I could show my projection model on the screen at some point. One of these slates, I'll do that every once in a while just to kind of show and give back for free. I've done a segment in the past called Free Fridays where I just put my projections right up. And, yeah. Charlie says, are your picks for tonight on your Discord? The Discord chat's just for you to ask me questions and stuff. So, like, you can ask me, you know, this player versus this player. I'll give you my best advice. My picks, like my core plays and all that stuff, are not in the Discord. You'd have to get the KJK DFS NBA package to get access to that. But regardless, you can certainly check out either. I mean, if you can't afford the $19.99 a month, obviously no hard feelings. I'm not trying to push you to buy something that's gonna be out of your budget or whatever. Or if you just play NBA DFS for fun, I get it too. But if you do play NBA DFS every single night and you're really trying to get serious about it, I would highly recommend my package. You get the core plays, you get my projections, you get all that fun stuff. If you just like to have fun, just tune in for the free content, man. I'll be helping out on these streams. It's free. I give out my videos, my lock of the night, all that fun stuff, so I get it. But if you're playing every night, I really think that you should seriously you should really seriously consider this package, guys. It's $19.99 a month. It's cheaper than other packages across the industry. You get a bunch of good stuff. Premium NBA projections, NBA data sheet, player stats, team stats, play contact stats, core plays, NBA Discord chat access, all that fun stuff. You get more than what you pay for. Let's put it that way. My package is underpriced, and I do that on purpose because I want it to be as affordable as possible. But at the same time, I got to get a little bit of money back because I put so much effort into it. And I got to have something coming in to keep my business running. So, but yeah, man, it's very affordable compared to these other sites. If you're not taking it too seriously, if you just like to have fun, if you don't want to pay that much, I get it. That's why I give the free stuff. But if you're really getting serious, I think it's a no-brainer. So, all right, guys. It's 6:15. I think all the questions are answered. If you enjoyed the content, hit the like button. I will be hanging out for one more minute. So any urgent questions that you have, ask now. If you have something you really, really want answered, ask now. One more minute, 60 seconds. I'll give you guys urgent questions. And then once this clock hits the next minute, I'm going to bounce out of here. If there's no more questions, I got to update my projections. I have to update my core plays. I have to update my own lineups. On top of all the content I provide, I got to update my own lineups too, which people forget about. So if you think you're scrambling at your computer when all this news comes out, imagine being me. You're updating the projections, the core plays, answering questions in the Discord chat, updating your own lineups. Yeah, it's craziness. So hit that like button. Really do appreciate the support. It gets crazy. So I have fun doing it, but man, craziness. We got Malcolm Brogdon ruled out now. More stuff added to the list. Malcolm Brogdon ruled out over on FanDuel. That's going to make Karis LeVert an even better play on FanDuel. Duarte, as far as FanDuel is concerned, is priced at $5K. Certainly a valid play now. If you want to go there, makes a lot of sense. So, all right, guys, looks like all the questions are answered. So if you enjoyed the content, smack that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. I wish you guys all the best of luck tonight. If you haven't joined the KJK DFS Discord, check it out. Only $1 for all of the month of December. Climb in there, become part of the community, chat it up. I might keep the Discord package at $1 for the foreseeable future to try to build this community. I really like having a bunch of new people in there. I want it to be affordable. I want to help people out. I'm not trying to just take. So I want to give you as much value as possible. I think that I do. I hope I do. I think I get a lot of good feedback. I think that you guys like it. So sign up, $1. Like I said, I might just go ahead and keep it at $1. I want to get some more people in the community, talking it up, having some fun, winning some money. All right, I'm out of here. Good luck tonight. Peace.